Hello and welcome to this week's Thursday Thoughts, in which I discuss my thoughts and impressions of The Verdict of 12 by Raymond Postgate and Part 3 of The Prime Minister, the fifth novel in the Palaces series by Anthony Trollope. First, I finished Verdict of 12 by Raymond Postgate. The novel is a murder mystery published in 1940. A woman is on trial for her life, accused of murder. Did she or did she not kill her nephew? The novel is divided into three parts. Part 1 is about the jury. It is written in a matter-of-fact style as it describes each of the jurors and gives some background information of each one and delineates their prejudices, attitudes and likely approach to the forthcoming trial. I thought it was okay as an introduction. Part 2 is about the case and explores the nature of the relationship between the woman accused of murder and her nephew who has died of poisoning from poison ivy. This is never disputed throughout the trial. The point is, was it accidental or administered by someone else? And was that someone else his aunt? This part was full of interest and fascinating, if shocking, detail. To give you an idea of the relationship between the aunt and the boy, here is the opening paragraph from Part 2. "Srednivashta," said Mrs. Rosalie Van Beer, looking suspiciously at her 11-year-old nephew Philip. "Srednivashta? What made you give the rabbit a name like that?" The child looked back at her cunningly, and not too pleasantly. "It oughtn't to be a rabbit," was all he would say. Mrs. Van Beer scowled at him. She thought of telling him again that what she hated above all in a child was secretiveness and evasion. Any boy who had nothing to conceal would always be honest and direct. Frank confession of a fault would generally bring forgiveness, she usually went on, never suspecting Philip's unspoken but unvarying comment that he had been caught once that way. But evasiveness was an impertinence and made things worse. However, this time she decided to say nothing. She wasn't sure of her ground. She merely did not understand. She hardly ever read a book. Her reading was almost confined to the Daily Mirror, the Sunday Pictorial and one other Sunday paper. The author has dropped two clues into this paragraph. The first is the name that Philip has given to the rabbit, which oughtn't to be a rabbit. How did he know to give the rabbit this name? The other clue is the fact that Mrs. Van Beer did not understand, because she hardly ever read a book. In Part 3, called Trial and Verdict, the evidence for and against is explored very skillfully, and the prejudices and attitudes of the jury are again explored and exposed until they finally reach a unanimous verdict. The last 5 pages of the book is a postscript to the outcome of the trial, and you will think that you can predict what it is, and you'll be both right and wrong, because the author provides a cleverly devised, ingenious twist in the tale. I read this book in 2 days, or in 4 or 5 hours. In that respect, it is a candy floss book and was entertaining for that time, but it is not a great book by any means. I also finished reading Part 3 of The Prime Minister, the 5th novel in the Palaces series by Anthony Trollope for Steve's read-along. In Part 3, the marriage between Emily Wharton and Ferdinand Lopez is not going well. Neither is the partnership between Lopez and Sexty Parker. Mrs. Parker told Emily while they were all on holiday together in Dovercourt that Lopez was ruining them by taking her husband's money. When they return home to her father's family, where they are living rent-free, Emily decides to confront Lopez. "Ferdinand," she said, "while I was at Dovercourt I saw a good deal of Mrs. Parker." "I could not help that, or rather you might have helped it if you pleased. It was necessary that you should meet, but I didn't tell you that you were to see a great deal of her." "I liked her very much." Then I must say you got a very odd taste. Did you like him? No, I did not see very much of him, and I think that the manners of women are less objectionable than those of men. But I want to tell you what passed between her and me. If it is about her husband's commercial activities, she ought to have held her tongue, and you had better hold yours now. This was not a happy beginning, but still she was determined to go on. It was, I think, more about your commercial activities than his. Then it was an infernal impudence on her part, and you should not have listened to her for a moment. You do not want to ruin her and her children. What have I to do with her and her children? I did not marry her, and I'm not their father. He has got to look to that. She thinks that you are enticing him into risks which he cannot afford. Am I doing anything for him that I ain't doing for myself? If there is any money made, will not he share it? If money has to be lost, of course he must do the same. Lopez, in stating his case, omitted to say that whatever capital was now being used belonged to his partner. But women, when they get together, talk all manner of nonsense. Is it likely that I shall alter my course of action because you tell me that she tells you that he tells her that he's losing money? He's a half-hearted fellow who quails at every turn against him, and when he is crying drunk, I dare say he makes a poor mouth at her. I think, Ferdinand, it is more than that. She says that, to tell the truth, Emily, I don't care a damn what she says. Now give me some tea. I will discuss part 4 in my July wrap-up next week. If you're new to this channel, you might want to check out my spotlight on Anthony Trollope in the info cards above. Now for this week's Thursday thought. The fire and water of repentance, adequate as they may be for eternity, cannot burn out or wash away the remorse of this life.